Guys, hi everyone. This is Late Love Sparkle with the Mukadis. We are so excited to be here today. We are very honored to be here today. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing today?
I'm sure they are good. We'll wait for them to respond anyway.
I know, right?
Can you move your seat over here, babe?
Okay.
So I can move the leg. Sorry, guys. I think that's better.
Okay, so what are we talking about today, madam?
Today we're talking about how to resolve conflict in marriage.
Interesting topic.
Very interesting. We've seen a lot of messages on that because people take conflicts in a differently. Some people they fight on little things. Some people they don't. Some people say we don't fight at all, but that's not right.
You want to say that's not true?
Oh yeah, yes. How can you not fight if you?
No, some people don't fight at all.
No, I feel like every relationship to be stronger. Some fights gotta be there. Look at the tree. We can give example of the tree. As big as the tree is, but at some point branches get together.
That's a good example.
Yeah, because a tree is one coming from one tree, right? Different branches, but sometimes they come together. Families. Do you fight with your sisters and your brothers sometimes?
Yes, we do.
So when people say we don't fight in our marriage or in a relationship, then that's not true, because how are you gonna grow?
I know.
How are you gonna know each other? You have to know each other through all those things. So that will be the topic for today, guys. How to resolve conflict in marriage. This topic is interesting because we'll share with you some of the stuff, how we resolve our conflict, and how our couple friend that's gonna join us, they resolve their conflict too. It's not just in marriage, it's also in any relationship, families, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance stage, all that. People fight at work, people fight, but how do you resolve them when that happens? So, like we always say, our show is about helping a couple out there or helping an individual out there. Even if it talks about love in couples, but it's for everyone too. Because what we are doing is we want you guys and us to learn together. It doesn't matter if you're single, if you're about to get married, or if you're already married, we can teach each other in all these things. But the show is Let Love Sparkle for those that are tuning in for the first time. You are welcome. And we'll need your input, guys. We'll need your questions. We'll need you guys to contribute to this topic. And very soon we'll be having a couple that will join us, Mr. and Mrs. Sakini. And I know that you guys will enjoy them and you will learn more from them.
That's true.
Yes, guys. So let's get started. Whew. Babe, did you ever saw your parents fight when you guys were younger? Did you ever see them fight?
I would say, like we say, it's a normal thing. When you say fights, people take it in the wrong way.
No, I'm not thinking
disagreements.
About disagreements. Disagreements.
Yeah, like we say, it's a normal thing. Yeah, that's a very normal thing.
Yeah.
We've seen them before. They will disagree, and the point is how you solve it.
Did you see them resolve it? How did they resolve it? If you ever saw them, because I know, with my parents, they died when I was younger. I mean, my dad died when I was younger, so I didn't have that chance to see them disagree. Maybe I saw them, but I can't remember. I was younger. Yeah, but I don't know how they resolved their issues. I don't know how they took it.
That's a very difficult question to ask, because when you talk about resolving, it's when two people sitting down, they agree on how to resolve.
Yeah.
So based on the fact that we are children, I don't expect they would love to resolve their problems in front of us.
No, not in front of you, of course, because going back to my parents, I know they were fighting. I'm very sure they were fighting. They were having disagreements, but you know how parents are. You know how we do it. We don't want Winandi to know we're fighting.
So that's
we
what I'm
don't want
saying. You
Winandi.
can't really know.
Yes,
what
but
is going
did
on.
you experience like, oh, I just saw, I think I heard them say something. I don't know what they were saying, but I heard them like maybe they're arguing, and then how come they're just okay right now?
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. They will disagree, and then you see them again. They're okay.
They're
Everything
okay.
like that. But how they resolve it,
You don't know.
we don't know. That's the thing.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, we need some input there. Let us know where you are watching us from. At least we know we have some people watching us from somewhere. Where you're watching us from, and if you're having any issues hearing us, just let us know.
Yeah, and if we're clear enough.
Yeah, if we are clear enough. Sometimes we'll be talking to ourselves and nobody can hear us.
Yeah, we need to know that. We need to know that.
I know, right?
So, yeah, can you hear us, guys?
From New York City.
Hi, Monica. Hi. Can you hear us?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Monica.
Awesome.
Thank you. Sounds good.
Exactly.
Okay, that's amazing. Yeah, so the topic today is how to resolve conflict in marriage. It's not just marriage. It's beautiful. So it's not just marriage, it's everywhere, relationship wise. How do you guys resolve conflict? So that's the topic for today, and we will be having our guests soon, and it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be hot in here. We are so excited about that. So excited. And one thing that kills me with couples, whether married or unmarried, I know we tell our children and we tell ourselves that it's not good to pretend. But if you are a couple, sometimes it's good to pretend like everything is okay.
Exactly.
Just for your neighbor not to know what's going on in your home. Because there will be some couples, they argue, and then you meet with them. You still know this couple is not all right. They argued.
That's true.
I know it's hard to like hide your feelings sometimes, but at the same time, it's not good also to put your stuff out there for your neighbor, your friends to know that you guys are fighting. Like, come on, we have to we have to hide a little bit. Like, just hide a little bit. Don't let people know, because people that are aspiring to get into marriage and the singles out there, men and women, sometimes if they see stuff like that, they get scared to go into marriage.
That's true.
I've heard a lot of people say, I can't get into marriage because I saw my parents fight a lot. I can't get into marriage because my best friends, the way they live with the wife or with the husband, I don't like it. I don't think I can get married because of so many reasons. But that's not the case. So as we married people, or those that are just in any kind of relationship, when you fight, at least hide from the public. I don't know how you're gonna hide that, but try to hide it and then resolve it, because that fight is between the two of you. So nobody gotta know what's going on in your home or in your relationship.
Exactly. That's the key. The key is to make sure whatever you're going through into your marriage is not exposed outside.
Yeah.
By some people, they have difficulties to express, like to show it. You see some people disrespecting their wife or husband in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Like people can actually see that, okay, these people, they are having a fight. So that's one thing that we really need to work on as couples. No matter what, in front of people and all that, you can control that. Just try to control your temper you have. That's what is a bedroom. When you have time, you go to your room or you isolate yourselves and then you talk about your differences instead of putting everything out there in the public.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Exactly.
And it's very embarrassing too. Today people see you laughing, tomorrow they see you arguing, like what's going on? So, like we said, every marriage and every couple, every relationship is not perfect. People fight, people argue, all those things. But the other key word is also forgiveness.
That's true.
Forgiveness. If we don't have a forgiving heart, even you cannot survive a relationship without a forgiving heart, because you need to be willing to forgive your friend.
Okay, before our guests join us, so can you go into detail how you solve conflict in your marriage? I mean, marriage.
In our marriage,
How do you deal with it?
it's I would say thank you for thanks to you, because guys, we are from two different backgrounds. Personally, the way I resolve conflict: one, I run away from conflict. Two, I want to have good time, laugh and everything.
How do you call it
Uh-huh.
resolving conflicts when you run away from it? That's
Exactly.
not resolving. So we're talking about
Listen,
how do you resolve
listen,
it?
I'm coming there. I'm
Mhm.
coming there. I run away from trouble. I run
Mhm.
away from conflict, right? That's personally me. And then I'll deal with it by myself. I'll calm myself down. I'll tell myself, okay, it happened. If I need to cry by myself, I'll cry. I let my anger out, and then I'll come back to you. Everything is fine. But does that help? No, it doesn't, because I'll still be hurting. I still be hurting, and in my heart, I feel like it has to come out. I need to tell it to you. I need to say something for me to 100% relieve myself. So this is how I used to be. I should say, not that's how I am. That's how I used to be. But when I met you, especially when we got married, you are different. You're something else. You want, when we disagree, we have to talk about it right there and resolve. So I should say that has helped a lot, even for me to open up and say, "Oh, hey, babe, what you said was not right," blah blah, and then we'll start talking about it. Maybe we will get into another argument, another disagreement,
Exactly.
and then later on we'll be okay. So how I resolve right now, we talk about it.
Okay, you talk about it later.
No, we talk about whatever we're going through.
Okay.
We will talk about it. Am I right?
No, that's true. You're very right.
We'll talk about it. But then I used to even now I do it a little bit. You would do something, and then instead of talking about it right there, I'm not going to talk about it. I would rather just be in my corner and wait, calm myself down, and then wait for you to bring it up. Because you're good at that. You don't like holding it. You're good at bringing it up, and you're not.
Yeah. I feel like actually it's the wrong way of solving conflict. That's how I look at it. Because once you're going through something, better you talk about it and leave it in the past.
Yeah.
So if you start running away from things, let's say somebody confronts you about something, or let's say I pissed you off over something, you don't have to you know what? Let me just try to forget about it and not talk about it again. Because guess what? If you don't bring it up to me, listen, what you did over there was wrong. This is what you were supposed to do. Trust me, I'm going to repeat that thing in the future.
Of course.
I'll do it over and over again.
Yeah, because you don't know it's bad.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you talk about it, it's going to ring in my head. Let's say if I want to do something there, oh, wow, she just spoke to me about it. She told me about, we discussed about it. Yeah. We had a discussion over this. So that's not going to repeat itself.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why when you're going through something, you see something that is really making you uncomfortable or disappointed with someone, talk about it. Bring it on the table, tell them how you feel about it, and you move on.
That's true.
Don't just hold it okay, we'll forget, we're going to move on. I don't want to mess up the day, we'll start talking about it. That's wrong. Better you talk about it. They can get mad or whatever it is, but at least you talk about it, know your position.
That's very true. We always teach our children to talk about things and forgive. I think that's how it's supposed to be too. It even helps us to create more conflict in a relationship.
Exactly.
Talk about it and forgive. Or move on. You see. So it's very important to do that. I think it helps a lot. It's just that personalities are different. Personalities are different, and when sometimes the couples that they are both just like that. They will talk about their issues just like that. But there are some couples, like in the beginning of ours, I would not say, even if I'm mad, remember?
Exactly.
I would not say it. I'll just keep it to myself, and I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to approach you about the situation. I'll just be quiet.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that did not help at all. That doesn't help at all.
So, guys, you're so quiet. Tell us how you resolve conflict. How do you handle it? How do you do it? What's the best way? What's the advice you're going to give someone, like, whereby they always go through issues and issues that are not solved, and then they keep coming back over the same issue? How do you deal with that?
And it's so it's a bad feeling to, like, when you arguing, disagreeing about the same kind of situation over and over.
Exactly.
And I think what creates that is the lack of not talking about it, the lack of running away from situations, lack of not facing your situations. Like, you just completely run away. You just don't want to talk about it, you know.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So, guys, what do you think? How do you resolve conflict in your relationship? Let's discuss.
Mr. Robert Sukani, super excited. Yeah, we are very excited. We're going to have you soon. We are very excited too. We have Miss Edwina Viola. She says, you certainly can resolve issues without communication, but you must communicate well. Yelling is communicating, but it's not effective.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's very true.
That's very true, Edwina. Because sometimes, like, you see, when we're growing up, just girls or maybe brothers, sisters, friends, this one is talking, you're disagreeing. Nobody hears. At the end of the day, nobody heard what you said, what they said. And if we take that into marriage or a mature relationship, it becomes a mess.
Yeah, I like the point where she says yelling is communicating, but it's not effective. That's true. That's not effective at all. Because with me, once you raise your voice, you start yelling. So I'm going to put myself into a defensive mode whereby whatever I'm trying to do, I have to defend myself in a different way. We're not solving anything. So I'll try and raise my voice too, so we can be on the same level. And by doing that, you're not solving anything. So that's why it's good to discuss. You sit down if you can, just come and talk about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can just, if you're very upset, it's not the right time to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you're very upset, you can say something that will really offend your partner or which will lead into a bad disagreement.
Yes.
So better wait a little bit, calm down. Or if your partner, you want to talk to your partner, you can tell that that person is very, very much upset. Just calm down. Just wait for them to calm down, maybe later on in the day, and then you talk about it.
You talk about it, yes. Yeah, that's a good point. Talking about issues when you know that you're both not okay emotionally, you are both mad, is not a good time to do that, because you end up saying the things that you regret, and words hurt, and you can never take them back.
Exactly.
So better you calm down and then you talk about it. Sometimes it's hard to calm down, and sometimes you just want to take it out right away because you're feeling it. You have all that energy to take it out, lash it out. But again, it's this is somebody you love, somebody you care about. You don't want them to be wounded inside them. And remember, and women will remember things. I remember colors. I remember events. I remember arguments, how it started, how it ended. So it's not a right thing to do. We have to calm down and then talk to one another if we are mad. Edwina said, you also have to be willing to give up your right to be right. Oh, yes, of course. The goal is to understand each other's perspectives and compromise. The point is not to be right because you are on the same team. The enemy is your enemy. Oh, yes, I love that. Not your spouse.
That's beautiful.
That's really amazing. Thank you, Edwina. That's really amazing. Most of the times in relationships, one of the two want to be always right, and it's even a mess if both parties, they are always right. None of the two wants to be wrong. And sometimes it's okay to be wrong, and sometimes it's also okay just to keep quiet and let your friends speak. Hear them out.
Exactly.
Don't be right all the time. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. I like the way she said that we have the common enemy, not your spouse. My husband is not my enemy.
Exactly.
I'm not his enemy when we disagree.
Yeah, sometimes in a relationship you have to understand, like, for instance, Winnie can use some words that nobody else outside there can use them to me. Whereby if somebody else can use those words to me, I'll be like, wow, I'm very offended. So you have to understand sometimes when somebody's talking to you in a certain way, they are talking to someone who's really close to them.
Yeah.
Who's very close to them. So they are free to express themselves. They can say whatever they want to say, but remember, respect has to be there. You have to respect your partner. So I like the point where she mentioned, like, the enemy is the enemy is your enemy, not your spouse. That's very true. So whatever somebody is telling you, they're not trying like to put you down, like you mean nothing or something like that. No, most of the time, some disagreements are based out of love. You may disagree with someone just because you imagine you are going into a street and then someone just use some certain words on you, just a stranger. What are you gonna do? You just look at him and, that guy, why is he talking like that? Maybe you even ignore. A few minutes later, you just laugh about it and ignore. But someone that you love, if they use some certain words, because you love that person, you'll have to get deep into the conversation. Like, okay, why did you talk like that? So there's love involved there. So you don't have to be offended when someone reacts a certain way.
I mean, talking of offended, I think it's easy to get offended with people you love than the outsiders. Because you know me better. And to be honest, guys, marriage teaches you so much about yourself. You learn more about yourself when you're married than before, because you get so attached to a person and to this person, and they become so honest with you. Because, like he said, they're looking for, they're trying to bring out the best out of you. So they'll tell you the truth. Like the other day, my husband told me about, not in a bad way, how I've gained weight, right? So when he said that, I started thinking, and after minutes, I went back to him and said, did you mean that I'm fat? He said, no, I didn't mean that way. I meant this, that. But even when I went to him, I was not offended, because I know I have to do the work, because after having a baby, I gained so much. So I know I need to do my best to shed off some, But if somebody else outside say that to me, I was going to tell him, I met this person and they just got me fat, and would laugh about it, right? When my husband says it in a serious way, it will offend me. But if he said it the way he said it, he was even laughing. No, babe, I meant, both of us, we need to work out. Remember how small we were 2 years ago, blah, blah. We laugh about it. But if he came out in a different way, that was going to offend me. I was going to go, oh my God, did you just call me fat? Did you just say this? Did you just say that? Things like that.
That's true.
Ooh, Virginia, long time. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, Virginia. Yeah, our couple is getting ready, guys. Our couple is getting ready, and they'll be joining us in few minutes.
So the other day I was having a conversation with a friend, right? I just want to see, I'm just bringing up to you to see if I'm wrong or something like that.
Mm.
So, sometimes in marriage when you are getting to know someone, like you are getting to marriage and all that, there are some things that you have to give up because of the sake of your husband. Let's say, for example, if you like wearing tight jeans, all those kind of things, and then your partner tells you, okay, you know what, I don't like these kind of things. Would you say that's commanding, or that's being a dictator in your marriage, or it's just normal way of life?
Um, it's not commanding. I feel like it's when you get married, you have to give up a lot of things. You have to give up a lot of things, and you have to agree in a lot of things too. Let's say, let's see, what is it that you? Okay, so when I got married to my husband, he doesn't like too much makeup, right?
That's true.
My husband don't like too much makeup. That would sometimes, when you put so much makeup, changes your personality or changes the way you look. So my husband don't like that. He's the kind of person that loves natural looks. So I can put those deep makeups, but not all the time, and not too much. Not things to change the way I look.
Yeah.
So
I
things
don't
like that.
get me wrong. Not like I don't like makeup. Makeup is okay, but I don't like the makeup that will change your identity.
Exactly.
Like you start looking like a different person.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
I'm very much against that. So they look good when you look at it. It's looking good, but no, I'm not a
Shouldn't
fan.
change your person.
No, it shouldn't change the
your
person.
Yeah.
Someone should be able to look at you and still see Winnie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. So things like that, I have to work with you. Okay, my husband don't like this, because at the end of the day, is making you happy and making myself happy. If I'm not making you happy, then I'm not gonna be happy, because you'll be complaining all the time. How come you don't understand with what I want or whatever? So I don't think that's a command. It becomes a command when both of you, when you keep changing everything about a person. Like, oh, I don't like your makeup. I don't want you to work. I don't want you to eat salad. I don't want you to do this. Then it becomes a problem.
It becomes a problem.
But if you are just telling the person in a loving way that, babe, put your makeup. You look so good in your makeup, but don't overdo it. I don't think that's demanding at all.
Exactly.
I know there are a lot of men and women that are really demanding.
Yeah. So for people, example, like in my case, you have to let it be out there. You don't have to wait until your wife or your spouse put on something and then you come out like, no, take off that. I don't like that. Oh, you don't do this. That's bad. So the right way of doing it, like in my case, I had to let her know in advance things that I like, things that I don't like. Like she knows, okay, me, I don't like this. I don't like this. So before you even put on something, it's just like, I share this with a friend. It's just like, you want to go to a restaurant, right? Okay, you tell me, like, okay, Eddie, I don't like, for instance, I don't like ripped jeans. I don't like men who wear ripped jeans. And then I'm taking you for a date for the first time. And then, I come with my ripped jeans on.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? That's going to look like, I don't need you. I don't love you. I don't respect you. You see what I mean? If I really want you, I have to be like, I have to give up what I like.
Yeah.
For the sake of the love that we have. So that's one thing that most people miss out.
Oh, before we go on, we have to send our
yeah, can send it. Oh, you didn't send it earlier?
No, I didn't.
Okay, we have Monica Mono Mutonga says, you have to know when to walk away. It may be necessary to let the other person know that you need to revisit the conversation when you have calmed down. That's right. Because when people are heated, they say hateful things and may even bring up things that happened in the past to try and prove their point. That's very true.
That's very true.
Actually, I'm kind of like that sometimes. I'll try and bring up some things in the past. Like, remember you did this, I do that. I'm still working on that too.
Yeah, can you send it to them? Yeah, and that's crazy. That's bad to bring out. My husband used to do that a lot. Now it's reducing. He does that a little bit, but it's reducing. Yeah, it's not a good thing of bringing back the past. Like, oh, this is what you're doing this, you did this again, and then you did this, you did that. It's not a good thing. To remember, even the Bible talks about not dwelling in the past. So
That's true.
It's not a good thing at all. We have to move on and keep bringing the new chapter all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's very true. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll be having our guests soon. We were just sending them something. I forgot to do it.
Thank you so much, Monica. That's a good one.
Thank you, Monica. That's a good one. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So resolving conflicts. And one thing that I've realized about women, we are like a ball of yarn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cotton. Ball of yarn.
Okay.
Like it's coiled up, and we have to like uncoil, right? Because we have so much. We are, whether you are a mother or you're not, we are just mothers naturally. So we have too much in ourselves. Mm-hmm. And then if you having issues maybe with your husband who's like straightforward, men are straightforward, straight to the point. Men are always like, the way I understand you guys, I don't know if I'm right, because I saw a post where they said women always tell the story about how men are, but they've never heard from men how men are. So we always talk about how you are, but you guys never really talk about yourselves that much. But what I've understood about you men is that you are straightforward. You want, when there's a disagreement or whatever, you want just to say it straight, right? And you guys are solution makers, right? You're looking for solutions. But for women, we are not like that. We have to call up to uncoil that ball of yarn. Like, I need, for me to go to the point. I don't know if I'm right, women. You can disagree with me if I'm wrong, but the way I am and the way I've seen my friends, mm-hmm. Some of my friends talk about some situations. They have to like, they're uncoiling their ball of yarn. Like, they have to start from somewhere for you to get the point. Sometimes my husband will tell me, I know what you're about to say, so whatever. I'm like, let me finish my point. So it's like, I have to talk about other things that you're going to be relating to what we're discussing about.
Very sorry about that, guys.
Please. We lost ourselves a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, seems like our guests are ready. Let's have them ready.
Let's have them in.
Let's have them in. Hey, beautiful people.
Hey, guys. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
You look so beautiful, guys.
I know, right?
I'm even shocked at myself. I look nice on TV. Wow. Awesome. Thank you so much for.
How you
Thank you
guys
for.
doing today?
We are fine. We are fine. I don't know about you.
We are good.
We are doing good. We can't complain.
Yeah.
We are very
Now,
fine.
we're doing fine. Our day started being nice very early in the morning.
Yeah.
Can you share with us?
You need a password for you to know what we're doing in the morning.
We need a password.
Need a password. Yeah, I need a password.
Okay. That's amazing. We are so happy to have you guys.
We're also extremely happy. We would have definitely loved to do this last week. It's just that, like we're saying, resolving conflict. She had invited people over and I didn't know about it. So whilst we are agreeing and excited about this meeting, and then she was like, oops, we double booked ourselves. So that's why we last week. Yes.
Someone say she shared the grace. No?
They shared the
grace.
Yeah. Virginia Chembo Mwana. So.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay, interesting. Yes. I just wanted to find out as well from you before we even begin, how long should be the duration, because we have like 3 books that we have written on this topic. So we wanted to know.
At this moment, to be honest, we're only remaining for like 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes, yeah.
So we're gonna shoot straight then into the topic so that we can uncover a lot.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. So we decided. Yeah. So we decided to host this session in our bedroom.
Okay, that's good.
Because we wanted to be very practical. That every couple needs to have an altar that they use to resolve conflicts. And what a better place than your bedroom. It is a most sacred place where all conversations should start and should end, and all conflicts should be resolved. It's, for lack of better term, that's the entire 3 arms of government. That's the legislature in the government. That's the judiciary. That's the executive. Everything happens in the bedroom. Here you appoint, you disappoint, and appoint. Everything happens in the bedroom. So we decided to be here to be practical, to demonstrate that we are right now, we're in parliament right now. Yeah, so this is where we say, order, comrade. Comrade. Yeah. So I think as an introduction, what we wanted to demonstrate to everyone, or what we wanted to speak about, is that conflicts, we will always have them. And the attitude that we build towards solving conflicts is very, 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 very important. Just like in scripture would say that the poor, you always have them. But now you need to have an attitude.
Exactly.
You need to develop an attitude on how to resolve the conflicts. Let me give just a quick one before my wife comes in. We discovered that we made a decision that we needed to be visiting people and be hosting people. Then we were deliberate about it that, look, this hinges around our social network. So what is our policy when it comes to social? What is our policy around our social network? How do we decide who to visit? How do we, adopt? If someone wants to visit, how do we say yes? How do we say no? Can anyone just walk in? Can anyone just visit us? Can we visit anyone? How do we manage our time? And
Yeah.
how do we prioritize who to visit and when to accept to be visited and stuff like that? So we had to sit down and we came up with guidelines on how to say yes to a visit, when to visit, and right now, the person that is in charge of preparing for any visit whatsoever is Madam. So we developed that policy. Same applies to conflicts. You need to have a way in which you resolve conflicts. You need to be deliberate about it. So, baby, whenever we have a challenge, how do we resolve it? How do we begin? What are the guidelines? So, conflicts, you always have them. So, at the end of this meeting, what we want to discover is that we need to be united to resolve conflicts, and we need to develop certain tools to solve conflicts.
That's true.
That will be the departure. That's a departure point. We just want to agree here that conflicts will always have them. And conflicts, we need to solve them. And
That's
conflicts, we need to develop tools on solving conflicts because they always have. We always have them.
That's very true.
Madam can shoot. Seeing that we only have 20-25 minutes.
Yeah.
So your whole 100 pages book, just bring it.
In marriages, there are conversations and conflicts all the time. It's also in relationships and in families. We still have conflicts and we still have fights and all, but it depends on how you deal with those conflicts. So it requires knowing each other, adjusting and accepting. And again, we are coming from different backgrounds and we've got different interests and different habits and again, different expectations. So we need to adjust in all those so that we know how to deal with each other when we have a conflict. I'll speak a little about us, though he spoke, but I'll also speak about a little history about us.
Spilling the beans.
There was one time when we got married, our first 5 years. It was tough and it was crazy. We had conflicts after conflicts. But what helps us a lot, it's us sitting down and finding a way in how we can deal with these conflicts. Because I was not a listener. I'll be honest, I was not a listener. I couldn't listen to him when he's talking. I'll come in and talk. But as time went by, he taught me how to listen and how to know when to come in and when to attack. But when we are attacking the conflict, we don't attack it. He doesn't attack me and I don't attack him. We attack the problem together because we are together, we are one. So if we are one, just like the Bible says, when we come together, we are one. So we need to attack the problem as one. So we stand like the way we are sitting and attack this problem, not looking at each other as enemies, but looking at each other as lovers and looking at this problem as the one which is coming to attack us.
Wow.
So we get the problem,
Wow, that's good.
and then resolve just like that. Yeah. So and then the second thing I wanted to talk about is selfishness. Most of the times when people get married, they go in a marriage with selfish ambitions. You don't go in a marriage with selfishness. You need to defeat selfishness before you go in a marriage, or if you go in a marriage, you need to defeat the self in you. Be selfless. Be selfless to to listen, be selfless to understand, be selfless in everything that you are doing together as a couple. Because if you are not, you will find that you have a lot of confusion around. So you need to be selfless. Let go, open up to yourself and to your husband. Be open enough to speak about anything. Because this person you are with, is your husband, and you are one. So be open. Everything that needs to be confronted with openness and willingness to deal with every matter that surrounds you. So for us, that's what we did, and it helped us a lot. For me, I can say I was the one who had so many problems of understanding and listening and just adapting to, because I grew up in such a manner that we didn't know how to say sorry. They didn't teach me how to humble myself and say sorry when I'm wrong. I was stubborn. I couldn't listen. Whenever he tells me to say, baby, you are wrong, I'm not going to accept it. I'll even be stubborn enough, and I won't say sorry to him. I'll just go quiet. So the most important thing is to be open. Say sorry whenever it's needed. Because this if you don't say sorry, apologize to your partner, these conflicts will keep on coming. Because you are it's like you are in a bottle. You bottled up issues, and you are going to break at the end of the day. So you need to open up and say everything that is needed to say. And yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much for
That's really good. That's
too much
really
wisdom.
good.
Too much wisdom.
So
I raised you well, Julie.
yes, Mama. Yes, no, that's good. We appreciate that one. Now let's just be a little bit practical. So this is, I want us to picture something. So there is a problem, and then what we do is picture a table, and it's for chairs. So how you position those chairs, right, in solving the problems, differ from one conflict to the other.
Okay.
But now I would like to propose something in line with what she has just demonstrated. So you get the chairs, you position them like we are seated, and then the table, as it is in front of you, you put the problem there. Now, why is this important? It's important because if you position the chairs differently, as in one chair this side and then the other chair across the table, what will eventually happen is that you begin to see the issues in two different perspectives. So it's like now you put a 9 on the table. I am seeing 6. You are seeing 9 on the other side.
That's true.
And then you begin to fight as in who is right or wrong. So then I am saying 6, you're saying 9. The battle won't finish. But now, if we are going to be honest enough, if we're going to bring you this other side, to be like, oh, okay, this is what you meant, because we begin to see things in together. In this case, we're not saying that you should not have opposing views. No, we want you to see the problem as attacking us, not attacking, not us attacking each other. In other words, I second so much when our sister said that the enemy is our enemy. You are not my enemy. We are not enemies. So the issue that needs to be solved independently, and we need to tackle it together, sitting on one side of the table. Now, whenever there are dissenting views, that's when timing comes in. Because if today I am saying that you are wrong and I'm right, and we begin to fight, it doesn't work. But if we can have timing and we can cool down. Now, these are tools we are using. If I can cool down today, like my brother Eddie was saying, maybe tomorrow I'll be able to see my friend's perspective. Because if today I kept on just refusing and refusing, my judgment would not work. But now if I wait maybe until I calm down and then I want to interrogate, can you explain to me what do you mean in your views? What do you mean in your argument? Beginning to give each other time. So that's the issue of timing. Timing is very, very important. Now, you need boldness to voice out what honesty produces within. I need to be able to say, I am sorry. The boldness, the courage to admit that I am sorry. I need you to help me. I need you to guide me on this perspective. That boldness, not everyone has. In the end, we begin to produce our inferiority complex in trying to hang on to our correctness, even when it is actually wrong at that particular time. You need to be bold enough. It's boldness to say, you are right. Why? It's because at the end of the day, we want the marriage to work. So I shouldn't hang on to my correctness, even though it's going to destroy the marriage. Then it means I'm not interested in the marriage. But if I'm interested in the marriage, then I would be able to listen carefully, all right, to what my friend is saying, because if her views are what are going to save this marriage, then I should have the boldness to accept that.
That's true.
It shouldn't be like, like sign how you are wrong. I mean, jeez.
I like how you put it, because that reminds me of pride too. Because for you to be able to accept, that means we have to put pride aside. Like Julie said, we have to be selfless before we get into marriage, right? So pride also is one of the killers of marriages. If we don't put away pride, if we don't swallow our prides, conflicts will always be there, because you don't want to accept you're wrong, and you don't want to accept what your friend wants for the marriage to work out. So pride is pushing you, like, I can't say sorry. How am I going to look? I don't want him to look at me as I'm wrong. You see?
Yeah.
So pride can also play a big role. Now, I want to ask you guys, there are so many people that are about to get into marriage that will see this video. And some of them are in relationships. Some of them are already in marriage. And especially those that are not in marriage, but they're trying to get into it. How can you advise them? Because I know even in relationships, before we get into marriage, we sometimes we disagree. But what's that thing that they hold up to say, even if we disagree, our marriage will be beautiful and will still work?
All right. I can shoot. Can I shoot? All right. Okay, perfect. The first thing is that we need to respectfully honor one another. This is something that I've learned in my marriage, where I begin to just cherish this human being, just to love her, just to find out how to make her happy. Honor. And if you honor somebody, you would be careful with what you speak. If you hold someone in high esteem, you wouldn't just say anything else. Proverbs 10:29, what does it say? The lips of the righteous know what is fitting, but the mouth of the wicked only what is perverse. The lips, what you speak, anything that is coming out of you is just killing your friend. For example, yes, I know, baby, right? My baby, she's seen that I'm gaining weight these days. You get the point. But the way she speaks that I should go to the gym, you don't think it's a good thing to do. You know what I'm saying? That's over. Taranda, she doesn't do that. You know, she talks, she just go like, "Oh, baby, these days you are eating, eh?" You know, she means that I need to hit the gym. So we need to honor one another. I think righteousness, knowing what to do at the right time, like the timing that I was talking about, knowing how to say the right words at the right time when you are fuming, you calm down. It's also a way of showing honor to someone. So that apa kanalanda nalarufianya. You get the point. So I calm down so that the words that I would speak to my friends are honorable.
Yeah.
Right? We need to speak the truth in love, but also timing. Sometimes when you're speaking the truth is hurtful. It's like knowledge. Knowledge has got the power to destroy or to build. So when are you speaking that same truth? So to me, anyone in whatever relationship, whether Nikunchto, whether it's at home, whether whatever it is, we need to respectively honor one another. We'll be careful with what we speak. Even when you are angry, the Bible says that in your anger, do not sin.
Yeah.
I've even forgotten that scripture. Don't ask me to quote it, but I just know that it's
No, we know it's there. We know.
it's there. Good.
Just to add on what he has said, you need to accept each other with your flaws.
Yeah.
Accept each other. Just like Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, he gave himself up for us. So you give yourself up for your spouse.
Okay, let me ask you a question on that. I'm not to interrupt you. You say you need to accept each other with the flaws, like the flaws.
Yes.
Can you give you an example of one of the flaws that someone need to accept? Like, okay, this one. That's
his weaknesses.
Just one example of the weakness. That
one example.
No, listen. We're not trying to talk about your personal issue. Just example out there. Like, okay, like someone of the this, yeah.
Okay, I'll shoot on that one. So it's some of the flows around conflicts are usually temperaments.
Yes. Yeah.
Temperaments. So the fusing of temperaments takes time to integrate. It's a process integration. That's what the Bible says. The two shall become one.
Shall become one. Yeah.
It's a process. All right, because you're coming with a different temperament, I'm coming with a different temperament. Now, if my temperament, for example, is I'm a perfectionist, right? It means that I will tend to be a little bit of a short temper at times. It does not mean I'm holding grudges. It's just because that I want to see a certain level of excellence.
Exactly.
Whereas, for example, your temperament could be you're outgoing, all right, and you can speak your mind at any time, at any given time, and you are not. That could be a little bit irritating, and you end up beginning to see the temperament as a weakness instead, not accepting someone as who they are. Everything just begins to be irritating to you.
That's true.
You get the point.
Let me add something on that. Let me add something on that. Because some people, when you say we need to accept each other's flaws, some people will be like, let's say, for instance, like with me and my wife were talking earlier about the makeup, right? Let's say someone who likes putting up like too much makeup, whereby even change their identity. Like in my case, I don't like that. I like when you put on your makeup, I can still see my wife. Like, this is her. That's in my case. I like that. So let's say you say, okay, that's how she is. That's how she likes. Can you call that's a flaw? Like, that's a flaw? Because some people confuse that with the flaw. Like, that's how she is. Can you compare that to that?
No.
That's different, right?
So for example, the flaw there is not the makeup. Makeup, it's just a smoke.
Yeah. Exactly.
The real issue is inferiority complex. It means your wife or your spouse has not accepted themselves. They find themselves when there's makeup. So it's like it's a disguise. They have not completely accepted them that in their natural state they're beautiful. So what I did for example with me, so Eddie, you and me we are the same. What I did tell my wife is that you can have makeup, but is it sustainable that you're going to now bring this artificial side of you to begin to be your identity. Is that what you want? Baby, you are very beautiful. And by the way, this I'm not bragging. My wife is very beautiful early in the morning, like when she just wakes up. I'm telling her that look at this.
Okay.
You haven't done anything. She's very beautiful. I'll be taking pictures of her and even sending on social media. She's so beautiful in the morning.
That's amazing. Listen,
Yeah.
listen, you guys. We have to continue on this topic. We have to continue on this topic after next week. Please save us some little time of yours. We have to continue on this topic because we are running out of time. And we'll have to start from the beginning to the end.
Yes.
We have to continue on this topic. After
Hello, just a joke. So my son, our son, the firstborn, whenever we want to do something and we tell him that time is running out, then one day he asks me that, Dad, you always say time is running out. Have you ever seen time running? Does it have legs?
That's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you coming in, but we have to continue on this topic after next week, guys. Be available.
After next week, we are around. We are around. We've got a couple of things to share. We're ready.
I didn't finish. I was kind of I'm ready for the next one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. It's such an honor.
Yeah.
We don't take it lightly, guys. We thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. You have so much wisdom. We have to continue on this one. We have to continue it.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you after next week.
God bless. Thank you so much.
God bless you too. Welcome. Wow, amazing. Guys, we have to continue on this topic after next week because we always promise you guys that the show is just 1 hour, but today we went over a little bit. And I can hear my son doing crazy stuff on the door. So we need to so we'll continue. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you're watching from YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. If you're watching from Facebook, go ahead and like the page.
And don't forget, remind the people about what we're gonna have next week.
Next week we're gonna have it's gonna be amazing. We're gonna have 3 ladies, beautiful ladies. They are so wonderful to tell you this, and we'll be talking about singleness, something to do with singleness. We'll share with you the topic very soon this week. We'll share with you, right, the topic, and you will be amazed with all the wisdom they'll have to share. We'll have our 3 sisters, and we'll be sharing on singleness. So singles, don't feel left out. We have a package for you.
All right. As for now,
thank you.
Thank you, and ciao.
Ciao.
Enjoy your week.
Let love sparkle.